Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to my channel. How are you doing today? Ready for some new drama? Let's go to the first one, about OP's sister, who demands OP babysits her sister's children at her wedding. Listen to the story, guys, to find out how it all turned out, and of course, to hear my insights. Enjoy the stories, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. My sister Carla, 28, had been planning this wedding all year, and I was the first person she thought of to be her maid of honor. I was excited as I'd never been to a wedding before, and I was super happy for her. Her fiancé was kind, and I already had accepted him as a brother figure. Things took a turn a few months before the big day, when me and my boyfriend, 22, went on vacation to Spain. We were enjoying a nice quiet day, but my phone kept going off constantly, so I decided to see what was going on. My sister had been mentioning me and tagging me in our group chat, demanding it was my turn and my responsibility to watch my sister's kids the night of the wedding. As I'd never been to a wedding before, I didn't think it was fair that all of my sisters were ganging up on me and manipulating me into watching Carla's kids. The kids were young, so they went to bed at 8 p.m., and I was going to bring my boyfriend to the wedding as my plus one. My other sister, Emily, 26, had kids of her own to watch, so I understood why she couldn't. My other sister, Fran, 24, didn't have kids, but she was watching Carla's kids during the honeymoon. However, she constantly confided in me that she regretted saying yes to having them and that she would refuse to take them anywhere or buy them treats unless Carla funded everything. She hated the kids and found them annoying. I told Carla that I didn't want to watch her kids and that she should get a babysitter so we could all enjoy the wedding and all be together. All of my sisters hated this and started saying horrible things to me. Fran even started harassing my boyfriend by blowing up his phone, demanding that we watch the kids and that we were being selfish. I was really mad at Carla for allowing Emily and Fran to talk to me like this and just sit and watch this all happen over her own kids. She was spending a lot of money on the wedding, so getting a babysitter for the day shouldn't have been a big deal, right? The worst part of it is, she never even asked me to watch them. She just demanded it. Anyway, I was sick of the aggression, as I'd get this regularly, all because I was the youngest. I was an easy target. They were aggressive and picked on me constantly and jumped at every chance to humiliate me in front of strangers and friends. I left the group chat and told my boyfriend to block my sister's number. When we got home from our day out, I had multiple messages from Emily. She was accusing me and my boyfriend of saying horrible things about her boyfriend, which wasn't true, and she even started calling my boyfriend disgusting names. I'd asked her where all this was coming from and who had told her, and she had said that Fran told her. She proceeded to tell me this BS story, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I assured her this was all false, and I wouldn't do or say anything that she had said, but she didn't believe me. A month before the wedding, Carla reached out to me and demanded that I owe her money for the hen do. I refused, as I had already told her I wasn't going. She then got her fiancé to harass me by pulling out her woe is me routine that she used to get him to do anything and everything for her. Then he pulled out the same routine, saying that they'd already paid a lot of money for the wedding and they couldn't afford an empty spot on the plane. I told him to leave me alone and not contact me again. Then, after this ordeal, Emily reached out to me saying that she discovered Fran was lying about the story she had made up about me and my boyfriend, because lo and behold, Fran had been telling the same BS story to Emily's friends, and she found out. It was a classic case of I told you so. She refused to apologize to me and my boyfriend, however, so I cut her off for good. Carla reached out to me again, pulling the woe is me card and gaslighting me into feeling bad for her. She started crying and telling me that she missed me, but in my mind the damage was done, and I knew it was just all an act. She then threatened me by saying if I didn't go to her wedding, then it would ruin our relationship. I told her she'd already done that, and I blocked her. The wedding came and went, and I didn't go, and I've been a lot happier without the aggression and harassment from my family, and I've blocked them all, so I haven't heard from them in a few months. I've been thinking about it all lately, so I thought I'd write this and see what you all think. Am I the a-hole? Edit. Let me know if you want me to explain the story that Fran told Emily, cause it's borderline hilarious that she could make up such a complete opposite story to what happened. OP is definitely not in the wrong here. They're toxic, and OP knows it. They were just shocked when OP stood up for herself and pushed back. Blocking them was the right way to go. OP's peace comes first. Why would OP want to go to Carla's wedding? when OP's boyfriend and OP should leave early and be locked away with the kids, even when OP has been expected to financially contribute to the festivities leading up to the day, and then OP's other sisters are at her throat. It would be beautiful to see Carla married had she made OP feel like she was wanted there. But no. This whole thing sounds exhausting, and there's more needless drama than a whole season of the Kardashians. Let's see if the community agrees with me. The Quiet Type 84 says, "Not the a-hole. Your sisters were only in my life for 3 minutes, and I want to cut them off." Emotional Rack says, "Not the a-hole. Seems counterintuitive to ask you to be the maid of honor, but also watch the kids on the wedding night. You blocking them is the right way to go. Sounds like a bunch of teenage girls rather than adults with families of their own." Mrs. Spanner says, "Not the a-hole. You sound better off without all that drama. They're all triangulating and kicking off without anyone actually being an adult and speaking directly to each other. Do you have parents? Are they just as bad as your sisters?" Just an aside, they weren't gaslighting you into babysitting. Trying to push you, manipulate you, or guilt trip you, yes. Gaslighting, no. That's not what gaslighting is. A few years ago, boyfriend asked me to come spend 2 weeks with him at brother-in-law's house, as he was dog-sitting for at least 2 months while they were on holiday. I made sure he had asked permission, and brother-in-law and sister-in-law were okay with it. The first night, they called on video to say hi, and we had a chit-chat. Then sister-in-law asked boyfriend to take the video call and show her around her house, every room, as she misses her house. I found that really odd and disrespectful, but didn't say anything as boyfriend did exactly that. When he comes back, he starts asking us if we had had S yet. I was super uncomfortable, but did not want to disrespect anyone. During the chat, it came up that I should sleep alone some nights as boyfriend works night shifts. This is his job, so his family knows he works night shifts. Anyway, the second night, brother-in-law calls boyfriend to say that sister-in-law wasn't comfortable with boyfriend leaving me alone for his night shift because she thinks I would snoop around. I overheard this as boyfriend was right next to me, and his phone is quite loud usually. So boyfriend proceeds upstairs to continue the conversation. I overheard sister-in-law on the phone saying she's so uncomfortable about it, so much so that she wants to cancel her holiday and come back home. Upon hearing this, I started to pack my things together to leave, so boyfriend ended the call and came to me. I had driven over 4 hours to be there, so he wasn't comfortable with me driving all the way back that night. As a result, he called his mom and asked if we could spend the night there. He ended up canceling his shift that night, and he came back in the morning to walk and feed the dog. So that morning, I was out on a walk and brother-in-law and sister-in-law called, apparently to apologize, but the call did not go well. I don't know what conversation they had with boyfriend, but they ended up raising their voices at me on the phone. Talking about why did I leave, now they have no one to dog sit, and that boyfriend mentioned to them that I would threaten him with breakup if he hadn't left with me. And when I tried to speak, saying that I found it quite disrespectful the way brother-in-law treated boyfriend, his response was, "I love my brother more than you love him. We don't know you, so we don't want you alone in our house." And I'm wondering, did they want me to stay or go, or is it because boyfriend left with me? They both were talking over each other at me and yelling as they spoke, just unnecessarily really. Anyway, the situation passed, but at other family events, brother-in-law and sister-in-law have totally ignored me. No eye contact, hi or hellos, like I'm not in the room. At one of the events, sister-in-law hugged everyone at the table and skipped me, like I didn't exist. I tried speaking to boyfriend about this, but nothing was done. And his parents are also aware of this whole drama. I would feel hurt when boyfriend would leave me at the events and go talk to them, but what can I say? It's his brother, so. Anyway, this happened over 2 years ago, and now boyfriend and I are getting married soon, and I have to put my foot down about not inviting brother-in-law and sister-in-law. Because of this, mother-in-law and father-in-law have threatened not to come to the wedding. And seeing boyfriend unhappy about this, I later changed my mind, so we sent them the invite. The response from brother-in-law was that he wasn't sent an invite same time as every other member of the family, so he assumed he wasn't invited. So he's gone and booked a holiday around the time of the wedding, so he's not coming. This has caused drama between boyfriend and mother-in-law, as she's on brother-in-law's side mostly, and always talks about how boyfriend is the eldest brother and should have played his role, etc., etc. At this point, it all just feels like unnecessary drama I don't want at my wedding, and boyfriend and I are both stressed. It's caused a strain on our relationship, and I even thought about canceling the wedding. I'm just not feeling so positive about his whole family. The vibes are off. My family are so supportive and have not caused any drama in the time of my relationship with boyfriend in any way. I think OP seriously needs to decide if she wants this stress and discord for the rest of her life. Sounds like boyfriend is going to continue to allow his family to disrespect OP. As soon as they left sister-in-law's house, it should have been over. Instead, 2 years later, they're still causing drama. And sounds like mother-in-law is joining in as well. So this is what OP is marrying into. And boyfriend won't stick up for OP. OP needs to ask herself, is this what she really wants? And now let's hear the community's opinion. Glinda the Witch says, not the a-hole. Why not elope? Since mother-in-law thinks your boyfriend should play his role as the elder brother, he should do just that. Get in-laws together and put his foot down about their poor behavior. Brother-in-law okayed you staying with him, and they should have trusted him as the older brother not to invite some shady character into their home. What exactly were they trying to hide? He needs to make it clear that their mixed messages and abysmal behavior created this monster and have worked diligently to keep it alive for 2+ years. They need to apologize and mean it, or they can accept being excluded from his life with you. As for his parents, if they choose to take sides and threaten not to attend the wedding, that's their choice, but he won't allow them to create discord in your relationship. How's that for stepping up as the oldest brother? By the way, if boyfriend can't do this, maybe you need to reevaluate the relationship. Anime and Axes says, not the a-hole. As someone who unfortunately has a family full of people with poor boundaries and a lot of unnecessary drama, on my mother's side, I'm not married though, I can tell you that it's ducking miserable and extremely stressful and frustrating when the drama flares up. Marrying into a family like that will impact your life, and not in a fun way. I would have a serious talk with your husband about his willingness to put his foot down, and tell his family to cut it out or back off in certain situations. And if he isn't willing to have boundaries and stand up for you, I would seriously reevaluate whether you want to move forward with the wedding. It was my, female 21, birthday yesterday. I turned 21. We have a child, so no partying. But we got a couple of friends with us, our daughter and a friend's daughter, and we went out for bowling and drinks. I had a couple of drinks, and we had a great time bowling. It was my best birthday in a long time. I loved it, and my fiancé planned it all out. Afterwards, I wanted to do some of the arcade games. He said no, we can't afford it, which admittedly did make me a bit sad. I'm spoiled. Yes, I know, I'm sorry. So I got in a bit of a sad mood. We walked down the staircase of the back of the bowling alley when I got a text from my dad, so I answered it. When I looked up, my fiancé said, "Daughter's name has a present for you," which we basically say to mean she needs a nappy change. So I went, "It's your turn," and he went, "No, it's an actual present." So I looked in her hand, and it was a box. And I took the box and I opened it, and it was literally the most beautiful ring I have seen in my entire life. And I was shocked. Here comes the part where I was an a-hole. He said, "I don't want to get down on one knee because I have a cramp, but will you marry me?" And I said, "This is how you do it after 4 years together? At a piss-filled corner outside a bowling alley? And you won't even get down on one knee?" I don't know why I said it. I'm such a horrible, horrible person. He got really sad and annoyed and said, "Do you not want it?" And I said, "Yes, of course I want to marry you. But I had been picturing it for years, and this isn't anything like what I pictured." And then we got in the car, but we had someone in the car with us, so it was really awkward. And then we got to Burger King, and we asked that person to give us a second alone. And I explained to him that I feel so guilty, and that I love him more than anything, and the ring is beautiful, but it caught me by surprise, and I had imagined that moment for so long, and thought he could have at least waited till we were at a place that wasn't literally a brick stairwell and pee on the floor. And down on one knee would have meant a lot to me. He explained to me that I really upset him, and that it shouldn't matter where or how he does it, just that he does it. I've never upset him before. I love him so much. I asked if we could please redo it, which he agreed to, so we stepped out of the car and there was this beautiful rainbow appearing, so he did it again in the parking lot, and I was crying, and the ring was beautiful, and of course I said yes again, and we kissed and hugged, and that was a genuine beautiful moment. And then we listened to love songs on the way back, and at home I got dunked in champagne and we had a glass each. But I ruined it. I ruined the most important moment of our relationship because I'm a spoiled brat. I'm a truly horrible person, and he deserves so much better than me. I've been looking forward to marrying him since the day we met at 17. I feel so guilty, I can't live with myself. I've been crying and apologizing constantly. He says it's fine. He just wants me to be happy to be engaged, which I am, but the guilt is eating me up. I know I hurt him. I don't want to hurt him. I love him so much. I have to make it up to him, but I don't know how. Wise Owl Poker says, my opinion only. No a-holes here. Just two people seemingly in love and both likely so excited, nervous. You both got it wrong. It happens. In the end, you both worked it out and get the happy ever after. You'll probably go through a lot worse together in life than this little mistake. Snarkastic Cat 16 says, OP, you're young, so I want to offer you a little perspective. This was not the most important moment in your relationship. It was one moment out of so many that make up and will continue to make up your lives together. You have a child. You share a home. Your wedding day will feel infinitely more important. And then one day, they will both seem insignificant in the face of your lives together and all the moments you shared. Make sure you're communicating when you have expectations for certain things, especially with this many emotions tied up in them. And then remember, at the end of the day, who you're with and the life you're building together is so much more important than any one moment. Marie Ad Behind says, the proposal was awful. She thought she was getting a crappy diaper. Instead, she got a crappy proposal. He put no effort into this. He could have done it during bowling with friends. He could have let her play one game and then said something sweet like, I've got a prize for you anyway, and propose. He could have waited until they were alone later at night. If this is the effort he puts into the romantic stuff, I dread to think what OP puts up with in her day-to-day life. Poor OP. You deserve better, sweetheart. And you are not spoiled. Far from it. I'm so sad and angry for you.